Now, Group C is the first group that has not got one of the host nations in it. I don't quite know why when there is 3 of them. Surely it would be ABC and that would make more sense, but maybe not. Something to do probably with Mr. Trump, but who knows. Right, so we've got, in this group, we have got Brazil, Morocco, Scotland and Haiti. I mean, I have to say, personally, I have drawn this group in the family sweepstakes, so I'm quite happy with this. I think that Morocco are a really good side, and I think that they are, with all due respect, I know they didn't win it in the end, but I actually do think they are the best team in Africa. I think they are one of these teams that could genuinely go on and do something. I don't think that in terms of across the whole squad, it's full of flair and full of talent, but the Atlas Lions know what they're doing, and obviously, of course, made the semi-final 4 years ago. Slightly that's rub of the green as well about how the fixtures went, but for me, in this group, there's only one team I'll ever want to talk about first. I mean, when I think of World Cups, I think of
Scotland.
That Samba yellow. Yeah, I think of Ali McCoist, and I feel that. No, I feel Brazil. Brazil is always a team that I love to watch at tournaments. I think everyone probably has that same affiliation as well. I mean, obviously being the 5-time winners. They have not won it for a long time. Of all of the previous winners, Cameron, who is the next team that has not won it after Brazil? So obviously you had Spain, you've had Italy, you've had Germany, you've had France in recent years. Brazil are, I think, the 5th most recent team to win it. Maybe it was 6th. Who's 7th? Do you know?
I want to say England.
It is England. Yeah. France obviously 4 years ago, all the way through. Brazil 24 years ago. They haven't won it for a quarter of a century. And then it goes all the way to England in 1966.
Which is 60 years ago now. And then it's Uruguay then who haven't won it
a lot
for
more,
76 years. I think.
Yeah, we're talking a long way, a long way. But by Brazil standards, I mean, this is a tournament that I think with the heat and I think with the exposure as well to the fact that it is in the United States, Canada and Mexico, I feel like this is a sort of tournament, now especially with Carlo Ancelotti at the helm as well, I think this is a tournament we could see a lot of people who actually really underappreciate and under-expect with Brazil. I think they're going to be class. I think they're going to score goals. I don't think they've got the best squad, but I think the squad's very rounded and I think it's full of quality. I think it's absolutely full of quality. And I'll be honest with you, this is the first time, for me anyway, that I can think of in recent years, where the centre of this tournament, for a Brazil's perspective, has not been Neymar.
Well, you say that, but there was a lot of talk about him being picked before the tournament even kicked off, and now that he's injured before the tournament again, he's still in the squad, but it's like, okay, how big a role will he play now? And I think I think
it's slim. I don't see him getting on the pitch much. I've got to be honest, because the quality they've got elsewhere is very hard to argue against, especially if he's not in fighting form either.
I think if he does play, I think if he can play against Haiti in that second game for Brazil, I think he'll be okay to then feature in other games throughout the tournament. But if he doesn't play in that game, I think we'll hardly see him. He'll just be on the bench the whole time. But
I agree.
For this group, Brazil standout favourites, obviously. I think the amount of firepower they have, Vinicius Junior, Rafinha, Endrick, Igor Thiago, like they're all goal scorers in their own right. Midfield-wise, not the most flashiest of players in midfield, but still solid players in midfield. Defence-wise, Alisson or Edison in goal, probably Alisson. And then you've got Gabriel and Marquinhos then as the centre-halves. Like you're still thinking this is going to be a solid team. I think their fullbacks is probably the weakest area. Wesley now being injured. Alexander is old for a footballer. So I think that will be their weak point. But at the same time, like the players that will come in, they're still solid players who can play that position, who've been around and know the game. International football is played at a bit of a slower pace than what we see in the Champions League or the Premier League each week. So that might suit the older players in terms of, and with the heat as well. The wingers don't want to be making long bursting runs every 2 minutes like they would every other week. So I think the heat will affect it. They'll be slower. You also got to remember as well, the other side of the weather, like the thunderstorm stoppages, can teams make that as a massive advantage? But I think Brazil, they have the firepower. Ancelotti, okay, he is not used to international football himself, but he is a serial winner, which I think is
100%.
one of the main benefits of having him in. And it's like Carlo Ancelotti, he will want to make Brazil have such a solid tournament, because in the last World Cup they went out to Croatia, which was a shock to everyone, and it was one of the ones where it's like Brazil should have gone further in that tournament.
100%.
100%. And then it's like, okay, well, they need to, like, the expectations from Brazil will always be high, because they are,
and they should be. I mean, they're the 5-time champions. I mean, it literally is their competition until anyone wins it more than them. I mean, obviously we're talking, that's a long time ago where they won a fair chunk of them. Of course, a little bloke called Pele, if anyone didn't know, was quite a big factor in that, winning 3 in the 1950s and 1960s. Of course, with that fantastic team, 1970 to round it off. What a team that was if you've never seen it. But I think we sort of know where the top 2 teams in this group are going.
Yeah,
and I slightly feel it's disrespectful, because I think, with all due respect, we know what's coming with Haiti. I believe this is one of a handful of times that they've ever qualified for a World Cup. I feel like they have been there before. Although I'm not certain.
It's their second World Cup.
Okay, so it's their second.
They haven't
World
been
Cup
here since 1974, so
okay,
it's a rare
fantastic
occurrence for them.
Back.
But they've been given such a bad group to be drawn into, because Morocco, obviously, in the 3rd place game last year, nearly made it to the final. Scotland. Okay, this is
the one I wanted to talk about, because I think this Scotland team is good. I really do think this Scotland team is good, and I think that it's well-rounded as well.
That's the thing. I think they're well-rounded. I think you've got good players in every position. I think their goalkeeper is okay. You've got Robertson on the left, who's solid. They've got McTominay in midfield. They've got 2 good strikers up top, Adams and Shankland. And then you've also got the flair in the wing of Doak, who's also rapid. So, like, you've got that thing there as well. So, Scotland, I think they'll play well in every game. However, I think they'll get the 3 points only from the Haiti win. But I think they'll score enough goals against Haiti to get through in the 3rd place spot.
I could see that being the case, yeah.
I think Morocco, obviously, they got a tough game to Brazil in the first game. Then they play Scotland straight away after. So Morocco will want to up it then against that game. And then, obviously, they've got Haiti last, so they know they'll win that on paper. Scotland have Brazil last, which I think will be a good game in its own right. But Brazil
I agree.
will win that. So I think this group is going to be very easy to predict. I think it's going to be Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti.
I'm in complete agreement with you.
This group will have a lot of good games.
Yes, that is very fair to say. I think even with the first round of games with Haiti playing against Scotland, I think even in that, I think Haiti are going to be very understanding of the fact that if they are ever going to score a World Cup goal, it's going to be in that first game. So I think it's going to be 100 miles an hour for that first fixture, which is actually a nighttime game even over there. So it will be a little bit cooler, and I think everything will maybe be a little bit more level. I think Scotland are going to have a real hard task on their hands to sort of contain that Haiti attack in the sort of opening game, but I still think they'll do it, and I think they'll do it with relative ease as well. I think, again, the targets for different teams at a tournament are very, very different. Haiti's has to be to score a goal. They're not going to get out of the group and go through in 3rd. Scotland is to get out of the group and try and push on and see where they can get to in the knockout rounds, even if it is going to be very, very difficult. But Haiti's objective is to try and do well in this group, and doing well for them is by scoring a goal and giving really decent performances against the other 2 nations that they maybe don't score against. But to have the game set up in the way that they are, this group is going to be so entertaining, and I think it's going to have twists and turns the whole way through it. Because, I mean, just saying, for playing devil's advocate, we're saying that Brazil will go and win this group. If Morocco do go and beat Brazil in that opening game, and Brazil have to go and beat Haiti and Scotland to qualify, I would love to see that environment, and it means that Scotland-Brazil game, that last round, will be absolutely gripping. But I mean, I think for me, this is a really good group, and I think it's got teams of quality, and I think that's the sort of group that I want to be watching regularly. I'm actually probably one of the most exciting groups for me in this tournament, I would probably say, is Group C. And I think that I'm with you, Cameron. Brazil will go on to win it, but it's not a foregone conclusion.
No, it's not. Like I think you also would argue like you could see a couple draws in there between the big games, like Brazil, Morocco. It could easily end in a draw in the first game.
Scotland that would throw it open. That would fuck.
That would.
Oh, that would throw.
But then it's like pigeons, you could easily see Scotland and Morocco drawing, and then even if I told you, oh yeah, Scotland Brazil draw, you're probably thinking it's not too far fetched either. So it's like I think again a lot of close games in this group. Obviously, just a bit unlucky for Haiti that they've been drawn into this group. But yeah, I still think it's going to be one of the more entertaining groups out there. And it'd be worth staying up a bit late to watch these ones.
Yeah, I agree. It might not be the most goals in these games, but there'll definitely be moments of opportunity and really good football to watch. It'll be really, really good close games.